Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to begin to create the, it says Darth Vader lightsaber, but that is 100% Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So I'm going to create the first part to that, and usually in this part I would kind of draw this like a section sketch of it and revolve it around the center, but I'm going to do something a little different this time. I'm going to kind of stack cylinders on top of each other. So I'm going to go to New. I'm going to use the metric templates, standard millimeters, click on the create. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this face here. I'm going to rotate this. I don't think it really matters on this one, but I'm going to rotate it to the left. One click. I'm going to draw a circle, center point. Make sure to hit that green dot right there. So this first one is going to have a diameter of 15 millimeters. So 15, I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude this straight up. That's going to be 15 as well. That's a 15, 15. And then I'm going to start another 2D sketch on top of this. I'm not going to bother rotating that. Circle, center point. This one is going to have a diameter of 25. Finish our sketch. I'm going to extrude this straight up. So I want this, I don't want it to be that far, but I want to make sure that I get the whole circle, not just the donut piece. So that one too. This is going to have a distance of 1.5. Hit OK. And then start another 2D sketch on top. We're just going to keep, like I said, stacking. We're going to stack circly cylinders. Circle, center point. Click on the green dot. This is going to have a diameter of 36. I'm going to finish the sketch, extrude this. This looks like the ring and the inside part. That's going to be 1.5 as well. So I don't need to change that distance. So we're good there. Let me look at the side view, make sure we got it. Yeah, okay. It was hidden under there. I was wanting to make sure it was there. All right, so I'm going to start another 2D sketch on this top. Circle, center point. This is going to have a diameter of 30. Finish our sketch. Extrude this. Circle up. This is going to have a distance of, what is that going to be, 10? Yeah. 10. Start a 2D sketch. Circle center. This is going to have a diameter of 15. Finish it. Oh, nope, nope. We don't want to do that. We want to extrude it. Extrude the circle straight up by 20. Zoom out a little bit. So again, start 2D sketch on the top. Circle center. This is going to have a diameter of 25. Finish our sketch. Extrude it up. So the donut part and the center part. And this is going to have a distance of 7. Start 2D sketch. Center point. This is going to have a diameter of 36. Finish sketch. I'm going to extrude this and this straight up by 18. Start 2D sketch. This is going to be a diameter of 44. Finish sketch. Extrude. 1, 2, both of those. This is going to go up by 7. And then start 2D sketch. Center, center, circle center. Where are we at? We are at the 50 millimeters diameter. Finish sketch, extrude those two. This is going to go up by 1.5. And then the last one, start 2D sketch, circle center. This is going to have a diameter of 15. Finish our sketch. Extrude this straight up by 10. Straight up by 10 right here. 10, 10, 10. Yeah, there we go. So there is our part number 1. I'm taking a look at it, make sure it looks halfway decent. All right, so like I said, I've done it before where I've kind of drawn the outside kind of section of it, but it just gets confusing of going out and up and out and up. It's tedious. So I think this is probably better for me anyway. You can do it however you like, but that's one way to do it. So I'm going to save this, go to File. I'm going to save it as part number 1. I already have a part 1. It's probably going to yell at me. Do I want to save over that? And I'm going to name mine part 1A, just because I already have one already created here, and I don't want to re-save over that. So hit save. Now, one thing I forgot, if you notice, like this flat at the top, right? So if it's flat at the top, like there's no way possibly that, you know, that when you turn on your lightsaber and it goes vroom vroom, you know, it makes that awesome noise. There's no way that the laser light or the beam can come out if it's flat at the top, right? So now the paperwork doesn't show what that center hole needs to be. So let's just make one. So I'm just gonna go start 2D sketch on this top face here. We're gonna make another circle. Center point. So that top diameter, what was that? That was 15. So let's make this, make it, what can we make it? 12? Let's make this 12. I mean, you use your best judgment right here. I'm going to finish my sketch, and I'm going to extrude, cut this hole. I'm going to cut it all the way through and click OK. So now, if there's a laser beam in there, it can come out and chop somebody's arm off or whatever. It can do some damage, right? So I don't know. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, make sure you save that. Save it. And okay, now we'll go on to part number 2. All right. All right, so for part number 2, I'm going to go to File. I'm going to click on New. We're going to do Metric Template. We're going to click on Standard Millimeters. Click Create. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this face right here. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about rotating it because it's a circle. So what I want to do is I'm going to start a circle, center point. My center is going to be the origin. So it doesn't tell us the diameter of this that I see anywhere, but I know that the part it sits on has a diameter of 38 millimeters, and this one is a little bit smaller than that. So we can either make this 36, 37. I'm going to make this, let's make this 37 millimeters. You choose what you want though. So there's that. I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude this. I know the height of this is 78.5 millimeters. So I'm going to go 78.5. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Click OK. All right, we're done. No, I'm kidding. We're not done. Now the hard part is going to happen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my origin folder, click the little plus next to it. I'm going to look for one in the vertical plane. So probably this XY plane. I'm going to right click, turn on the visibility of it, and I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this plane. And I can get rid of this front part. If you go down at the bottom, you can go to where you see Slice Graphics or F7. You can click that and it gets rid of that kind of front half circle. So now we can kind of see what we're doing on this plane here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find those little triangles to cut out. Just the top two really is all I need. So I'm going to zoom into this portion here. And I'm just going to draw some construction lines. So I'm going to click on line. I want to just kind of draw a line straight across. I'm going to right click, hit OK. Let me left click on this line, make it a construction line. So I want to dimension from the top to that construction line. That's going to be, let's call that 9 millimeters. 9. And then can I offset this? If I offset this line here, yeah, I'm going to offset that up. That's going to be, what is that, 2.75. And then if I can offset this one up, this one's going to be up 3.5. I'm losing my voice. Okay, then I want to turn these also into construction lines. So I'm hit OK here. So left click it, construction line, click on it, construction line. So then what I want to do is zoom in on this corner. So I want to draw a line from here and kind of draw it at an angle somewhere up on top here. And I want to dimension this. So this from here to there, I may need to project that. I'm going to project geometry, this line here, so that now I can dimension from this line to this angle. This is going to be 45. 45 here. I did not get that. That did not go all the way to the end, did it? I may need to work on this. Extend this to here. What about these? Did that work? Okay, that one looks good. That one looks good. All right, now I'm getting dizzy. Let me go back up here. So I need to refix this here. I need to, can I move that over? No, let me just get rid of this line. We'll do that again. So yeah, I need a line from the end here over, dimension it. Let's try this again, people. That needs to be 45. All right, now, so then I need another angle from here down. So draw a line from here down this way. We're gonna dimension this from here to here. Come on, let's try it again. From here to here, there. That's gonna be 45 also. 45. All right, so these are the two triangles that I need. So I am going to draw lines to finish off this triangle from here to here, from here to here. I need a line from here to here, from here to here. All right, so those are the ones that I'm not concerned with, but those are ones that I need to kind of cut these out. So what I want to do now is I'm trying to think about this. I want to go to my rectangular pattern. For my geometry, I'm going to select this lines for these triangles. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6. I don't know if I accidentally clicked that, but I think that'll be okay. And then I want to click on this where you see this arrows going to the right. I don't want this to be associative, so I'm going to uncheck that. And then for the direction, I'm going to click that arrow. I want this direction to be on this side here, so click this line. You can see that it's going up. I want to flip it around and go down, so I'm going to click this flip. And I want the distance here to be 9 millimeters so that these two are right up against each other. And then I need to copy this, I believe it's 9 times. You're gonna get a little extra at the end, but that's okay. I'm gonna click OK here. So why I didn't want that to be associative, so I can come in and get rid of this. So I'm just going to delete these that I don't want. And now what I want to do is, I guess if I wanted to, I could get rid of this middle line here, but I think we're going to be good. So I'm going to finish my sketch. And now what I want to do is I'm going to try to revolve these. So I think if I go to View, Visual Style, Wireframe, now I can see these better. So I'm going to go to 3D Model. I'm going to click on Revolve. And I want to revolve cut. And I'm going to select these triangles here. I don't know, there may be a better way to do this, but there we go. So I've selected all those. Now I need to pick, okay, the axis that this is going to revolve around. So that's going to be the y-axis. So I'm going to click on the axis here, select the y-axis over here in the browser, and we're going to make sure that it's cut 360. I'm going to click OK, and we can go back and first of all, we can turn our plane visibility off. I'm going to go back to View, Visual Style, Shade with Edges. So there's our part number 2. It looks nice. Now I'm not sure yet if we need to cut a hole through this one here or not yet. We'll kind of wait and kind of hold off on that. If we need to, we can come back and do that. But just make sure that you go to File. You want to save this as part number 2, which I already have. So we'll name this part 2A. Save it. And yeah, that was part number 2. Part number 3, we're gonna do that next, obviously, right? So we're gonna go from the top down. So yeah, we'll do part 3 in just a couple of seconds. All right, so in part number 3, I want to try to kind of create this kind of power box, switch box looking thing. So it doesn't have the instructions or the dimensions to create this, but it does show it in the image. It kind of sort of shows it in the image. It doesn't really show you what's going on the other side. So I've kind of looked online. There's a couple of I don't even know what they are. There's a couple of buttons here, and then there's 2 arrows. One's green, one's red. So I wanted to incorporate that into the one that I'm doing. So it's up to you if you want to do it, if you want to add this little box here or not. But if not, it's a real simple part. If you want to add this, and I'll go through the steps that I use to create this, it's not so easy. It's not difficult, it's just, tedious. But anyway, let me stop rambling here. So I'm going to start a new drawing or a new part. So I'm going to Metric, Standard, click the Create button. I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to draw a circle. This one's kind of like the way we did the first one. I'm just going to stack cylinders on top of each other. So this bottom one is going to be, 38 millimeter diameter. I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude this straight up. This is going to be 30. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to start another sketch on top of it, right there. Circle, center point. Make sure you grab the green dot so everything is concentric. We're going to do that. This is going to be 36 for the diameter. Finish our sketch. Extrude this up by 3. I want that to be 3, not 30. Come on, 3. There we go, 3. Start another sketch on top of that one. Circle, center point. And this is gonna be, what is this gonna be, 38? 38. Finish our sketch. Extrude this. I'm gonna get that. That's gonna be not 3, but that's gonna be 53. 53, hit okay. All right, so now what I want to do is to create this kind of like this side piece. I'm I'm going to turn on the visibility of the XY plane. So I'm just going to right click on it. I'm going to check visibility, and I want to offset this. So I'm going to create an offset plane, offset from plane. I want to offset this plane straight out. This is going to be 30. Let me look at the side view right quick. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, so 30. Hit the check mark. So now I want to start a 2D sketch on this plane. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. Let's do the 2-point rectangle option. I'm just going to kind of draw a rectangle here. Add some dimensions to it. So I want to make sure that from the top to the top here, I'm going to make that 1. It doesn't have to be, but I don't want it to be exactly even with those. So I'm just going to make it a little bit shorter. So this is going to be 1 as well. I want the width. So here and here, what do I want that to be? Do I want that to be 16? I think that's 16. And then I want to center this. So from the center to this edge. So instead of giving this a dimension, I'm just going to click on it. And I'm going to click on this dimension. So whatever that dimension is, it could change later. But whatever it is, I'm going to divide this by 2. So that's going to put that in the center right there. I'm going to finish my sketch. And now what I want to do is I'm going to extrude this rectangle back the other way. And it's going to go to the next piece, which is going to be 2 next. So it's just going to keep going until it runs into something, and then bam, there's that. Hit OK. All right, so from here, I'm going to, let me turn the visibility off. I don't need that. I'm going to turn the visibility off on these planes. I don't need you. I don't need you. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this front face. I'm going to project geometry. I'm just going to click somewhere inside this rectangle so that I can now offset the border of this, or the perimeter. I'm going to offset that by 1.5. Finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude cut this. I want to cut it. Is that 10? Is that? Let me look at the right side and see what we got. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't want it to go too far back. So 10 is good. I'm going to click OK. Let's see what we got here. So now what I want to do is I want to start a sketch on the top, and let me change my visibility of my visual style to wireframe, because what I want to do now is I'm going to go to 3D model. I'm going to click on, no, I want to go to sketch. Yeah, sketch. I'm going to draw a rectangle here. Here, just inside that. So I want to make this dimension from here to here is going to be 1, and it goes from the inside of this wall to the inside of that wall. Right, hit finish sketch. Let me turn my visibility, visual style back to shaded with edges. I want to extrude, 3D model, extrude this rectangular piece. Zoom in, make sure I get that. I want to extrude cut it all the way to the bottom of this. So I'm going to click on 2, click the bottom face there, hit OK. And so now what I want to do is I am going to draw a little flooring kind of thing. I'm going to go to start 2D sketch. Where can I do this? Can I do it here or there? I'm going to do it on this right here. right there. And then I'm gonna, let me look at a 3D view. Because what I want to do is draw a rectangle from here, that green dot, just kind of draw a little rectangle here. This is going to dimension this. This is going to be, what is this going to be? I want to dimension it. Duh. This is going to be 1. And then this is going to be, this could be, maybe, let's see what 2 looks like. I forgot what I put on the other one. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so then I can extrude this. All right, let me finish my sketch. I can extrude this wall straight up to, it's gonna hit up here. So I'm gonna go to, click this face there. And I want to do the same thing on the other side. So can I mirror this? Let me see if I can hit the mirror, if I can find it. I never can find the mirror. It's over there. Mirror. I want to mirror this piece, and I want to mirror it. The mirror plane is going to be the YZ. YZ, where are you at? YZ here. This one. Hit OK. So put that on the other side there. Like so. All right, so then what I want to do is I'm going to take a little break. Now I'm going to add these gizmos on the side here. Actually, before I do that, let me put these like little angle things on top. So, or actually on the side. So I'm going to start 2D sketch on this top plane. Let me rotate this way. So I'm going to create like a little L shape here. So I'm going to go to line, somewhere here, down. It's going to overhang from here, over, down. It's kind of like a backwards L shape here, like so. Right click, hit OK. So then I want to dimension. The thickness of this is going to be 1. The thickness of this is going to be 1. This width, we can make that. I don't want that to be 4. Really? 4? What about 3? What does 3 look like? Nope. Let's go back to... let's see what 3.5 looks like. Let's do that. Okay, and then here, we can make this 3.5 as well, can we? Or we make it 3? Let's see what 3 looks like. Okay, we'll do 3. All right, we'll do it like that. So then when I finish my sketch, I want to extrude this down to this bottom face. Hit OK. And then I want to, again, mirror this, mirror that little shape that we just made about the YZ plane. So my mirror plane is going to be YZ. Hit OK. So we have that on. So we're going to have like a little door here that's going to slide down through that. So that's why I kind of created that little slot in there. So now we can add this stuff on the side. So I'm going to start 2D sketch on the side of this. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to kind of create these buttons. So use a rectangle. Let's go 2 point. So I'm just going to kind of draw a couple of rectangles like so. Now I can dimension this. So from, let's see, this to this is going to be 4. Let's see what I'm looking at. Okay, and then from here to here, that's going to be 10. Which really messed that up. Let me grab this and try to move it up. Okay, yeah. And then from in between, I think this is like 0.5. 0.5. Yeah, and then this is also going to be 10. So this one's going to be, I could just hit this and make it even, I think. Yeah. And then I need to space this. I'm trying to space it where it's kind of even between these two. So if I did my math correct, I just kind of did this ahead of time from here to here. What did I make that? 7.3. I'm not sure if that's going to work now. Nope. 7.3. That now needs to be. Let me take a look. So what I'm going to do is I am going to measure from here to here. So that's 10.813. So I'm going to make this somewhere around 5.4. Let's see what we get. That looks better. Yeah. Okay, so there's those. We can go, should we extrude that or should we add the little arrows on top? Let's add the arrows on top. I mean, why not? Let's go back to our sketch. I'm gonna draw a line. I'm gonna make sure that it's kind of centered here. So I'm just gonna draw like a little triangle-y piece here. Let's just do one at a time. So the dimension from here to the point, I want that to be 5. And then this distance, I want that to be 5 as well. I want to make sure that that's centered. I think we're good there. Dimension, I want to dimension it from the center of this. I think I got that, the center of this. Nope, I'm a little bit off. 0. And then, how did I miss that? Okay, so then I want this and this. I want that to be 0 as well. So that's 0. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to make sure those were lined up. Let's see. Oh, from the tip to the bottom, that's going to be 34. And then what I want to do is make another one, but flip it over the other way. So I'm trying to think. I could probably do a mirror, but let me do an offset. No, it's going to do the whole triangle. I don't want that. All right. I'm thinking out loud here. So let me just draw a line here. It would help if it was a straight line. That'd be even better. I'm going to turn this into a construction line. I'm going to dimension from here to my construction line. What should that be? 2.5. 2.5. Is that what I want? No, I want that to be 2. Sorry, I want that to be 1. Half of that. Yeah, okay. So now when I flip this, when I mirror this, where are you at, mirror? Here. Okay, so I want to mirror this, this, this. My mirror line is going to be this. Hit apply. Hit done. All right, we're good to go there. So there we are. So now I can finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude these buttons. I don't remember how far out I made those. Definitely not 10. How about 2? Let's start with 2. 2. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little more. Let's go 3. Okay, we'll go 3. 3 millimeters. Boom. And then my arrows went away, so I need to go back to my sketch, right click, turn on the visibility of that. Now I can extrude these arrows. I definitely don't want those to be there. I want maybe either 1 or 0.5. Let's go with 0.75. All right, 1. Sorry. You're like, make up your mind, bro. All right, we'll do 1. And then I'm going to come in here and I want to, instead of having those corners so sharp, I'm just going to get a little bit fancier and let's do a fillet. Where are you at, fillet? I want this to be maybe a 0.5. Let's see what that looks like. 0.5. Nope, not that much. 0.25. 0.25 looks okay. So I'm just gonna like select all the edges of these triangles. All right, there we go. Hit OK. What about these buttons? Should we round these off too, or leave them like that? Let's round them off too. Why not? We can use the same 0.25. Get all those edges. I don't know if I can get that one in there. Did I get that? No, I want this one. There we go. So we got, I think we're good. Make sure I didn't miss any. Let me make sure. What am I doing here? This thing here always freaks me out. All right, let's not do that. Let's do this. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so there we go. So yeah, there's that part right there. Let me turn the visibility of this sketch off, get it out of the way. So like I said, we can come back in, we can add the texture on later, but I'm gonna make another piece of where the sliding door kind of fits in there, but we'll do that later. So that's part number 3. I'm gonna go to File. I'm gonna need to save this as part. I have so many parts here already. I'm just gonna call this part 3. I already have a 3A. I'm gonna call this 3AA. I don't know, you call it whatever you want, but hit save. We wanna make sure we save that because there was a lot of work kind of involved in that. We don't wanna lose it. So anyway, there's that part, and we'll do part number 4 in the next video, all right? All right, so moving on to part number 4. So this is kind of what I wanna create. So how did I do this? And I also left a hole there so you can kind of hook like a key ring or whatever into it. So I'm going to go to File. We're going to go to New, Metric, Standard. I'm going to click on the Create. So just like the other ones, I'm going to kind of stack cylinders on top of each other at first. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this plane here. I'm going to start with a circle, center point. And then this is going to be 32 millimeters. Finish my sketch. Extrude this up by 6 millimeters. Start a 2D sketch on the top face. Again, create a circle. And this is going to be, what is this going to be? 33? Yeah, 33. 33. Finish our sketch. I'm going to extrude this up by, what is that? It's 34 minus 8 minus 6. It's going to be, it's going to be 20, right? 20. And then I'm going to start another 2D sketch on here. It's going to be a circle. Center point. This is going to have a diameter of 32. Finish my sketch. We're going to extrude this circle up by 8 centimeters. Hit OK. All right, so there's that. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to turn on one of the planes. Click the plus next to origin. I'm going to look for the XY plane. I'm going to right click it, check visibility. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this plane. And then I'm going to slice graphics down here at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of create this like little angled piece that comes out. So I'm going to draw a line from the top here. Just kind of go down a little bit more. Come over to that end of there. Click that green dot. I think I want to draw this line back straight up. And then what I want to do is I'm going to dimension this angle. So from here to here, that's going to want to be 30. From here to here is going to want to be 30 also. And then, so from here to the center, that's going to be 44 divided by 2. That's 22. So there's that. I think we have that. Now I can finish the sketch. I'm going to revolve this here around the y-axis. Pick the y-axis here. 360. Make sure we're not going to cut it. We're going to add, so we're going to join. Click OK. So there's that. Looking good so far. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to turn off this visibility of this plane here. I try to turn these off when I don't need them because they confuse me sometimes. Click visibility. Then I want to start a 2D sketch on this top face. And I'm going to kind of create this sketch to cut these voids out. So what I want to do is I'm going to project geometry. I want to project this circle and this circle. I'm going to draw a line from like here. Where do I want to go? Do I want to extend it? No, I want to do it to here, right? And then draw another line here. Not there, not there, hit the escape. I want to draw another line somewhere over in here. And then over to there. So I want to dimension from where this is to that. That's going to be 7. And then I want to dimension, let's see, from the center to where this starts. That's going to be half of that. So I'm going to click here. So this is going to be, let me move this out the way. This is going to be whatever this is divided by 2. And then I want to dimension this, the angles here. I think that's going to be 90. Okay, that's not what I want. How can I fix that? Let's see. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to go to equal. So I want to click on equal, not parallel, equal. I want to click this and this. There we go. So now we have that's what we want. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, and then I can finish the sketch. Let me orient that this way. I want to extrude the shape that we created. I'm going to cut it all the way through. I'm going to click OK. And then I want to create a circular pattern. And I'm going to click this kind of voided part that we did. The rotation axis is going to be the y-axis. And I want 6 of those. And we're going around 360. Click OK. So there is our little angled pieces. All right. So then what I want to do is I want to cut a hole through one of these ribs to where we can put the little keychain piece looking thing. So which one do I want to grab? Let me look at the top view. That one doesn't go through. I want this one. So the XY plane, I'm going to make it visible just because it's going through the center of one of these ribs. So I can just select which one of these ribs do I want to use. So let me go back to my home view. I want to start a 2D sketch on this plane. And we'll do this one over here. So let me Slice graphics. I'm going to create a circle. This is going to have a diameter of 2. And then let me kind of dimension where I want this. So from maybe the center to the center here, that can be, what is that going to be, 19. And then from the center here to maybe the corner over here, that could be, what is that? Just gonna eyeball this. That looks pretty good where it is. 7. Let's try 7. I'm trying to think, should I move this over a little bit or leave it where it is? I think that's good, yeah. So I'm gonna go finish sketch. And then I want to extrude that circle. I want to extrude cut it symmetrically all the way through everything. Hopefully it doesn't cut into these other ribs. Click OK. So I think we're good there. I think we're good. Yeah. That looks pretty good. So we'll come back in later and we'll make this little keyring piece that goes in there. But I think that's looking pretty good. Let me turn off the visibility of this plane. I'm going to go to File, Save. I'm going to save this as Part 4. And I already have a bunch of them. So I'm going to call it Part 4. Part 4. I'm going to call mine AA. Hit Save. All right, so there we go. All right, so we'll create the cover plate for that side piece, and then we'll create the little keyring triangle thingy, and then we can put them all together and add some texture on it. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to go to File, New. I'm going to go to Metric, Standard, click Create. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this face here. Let's do this. Let me rotate this 90 degrees to the left. What I want to do is I'm just going to create or draw a triangle. Where can I start this? I'm going to start it just somewhere here. I'm going to go over 20. I'm going to draw this up and then back down. Got like a pyramid shape going on here. Right click, hit OK. I want to dimension this side. So I don't want it to be, I don't want the dimension to be this way. I want to right click, click on aligned. I want this to be 20, but I'm just going to click this one to make them even. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to right click, hit aligned. I'm going to place it. I'm going to click this dimension, click this one. So they're all the same. They're all 20. And then I want to kind of center this thing, I believe. So maybe from this point to the center dot, that wants to be 0. So we're good there. What I want to do here is I'm going to fillet. Where's my fillet? Where's my fillet? I'm going to fillet this too. I don't want that to be 2. Let's make it like 1.5 maybe. I'm just going to fillet the corners of this. Yeah, let's go with that. And then I'm going to finish my sketch. I want to, let's see, which plane do I want? This will work. I'm going to right click on the YZ plane, make it visible, start a sketch on that plane. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm just going to create a circle. So the hole that we made was 2 millimeters, so I don't really want this to be exactly 2 millimeters. So I'm going to make this, I don't know, 1.75 millimeter diameter. Finish my sketch, and then I want to revolve. No, I don't want to revolve. I want to sweep. Let's sweep this circle around this path here. Click OK. Let's take a look and see what we got. I think we're good there. So that's kind of our, I know it's kind of hard to put that on if it's closed all the way around, but you know what? I don't care if you want to kind of split this, you can do that, but I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm going to turn this plane visibility off. I'm gonna go to File, Save. This, I'm gonna call this Part 5. And then we have one more part to do. Save that. It already exists. Oh, wait. I said I was going to call it Part 5, didn't I? And then I named it Part 4. Sometimes I don't know where my mind is at. Part 5. Let's do that. Save it. All right, there we go. So, all right. So the last part, I'm going to go to File, New, Metric, Standard. You know the thing by now. You know the drill. We're going to create it. I'm going to start a 2D sketch. I'm going to use this XY plane. I'm just going to draw a rectangle with the 2-point center. Yeah, let's do that. So my center is going to be the origin. The bottom dimension is going to be 13. Press the tab key. And then the side dimension is going to be 51. 50 would be more even though. Let's do 51. Press the tab key again. Press enter. We're going to finish our sketch. I'm going to extrude this by 1 millimeter. Like so. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to look at the side view. So I want to start a sketch on the side plane here, and I want to kind of create some notches here. I'm not sure kind of what we should do, but let's draw a line right in the middle here and draw it to the other side. Let me zoom in here. I'm going to make this line a construction line. So let's see what we can do. I think what I want to do is, I wanted to do a rectangle, 2 points, like so. I'm going to dimension this. So I know I want this depth here to be 0.5. Dude, look how I made that exactly right. But I'm going to dimension it anyway, 0.5. And then for the height of this thing, what can this be? This is going to be, let's make this 1. I want to center this on this. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this and then divide by 2. So we got that nice and centered. So that's the part that I'm going to be cutting out. But I want to array this with a rectangular. I'm going to do 2 arrays. I'm going to go 1 up, 1 down. I don't think you can make an array symmetric in the same direction. I don't know, but maybe you can, but I don't know. I know you can go like up and down and to the side at the same time, but anyway, I'm going to go to geometry. My geometry is going to be these 4 lines for that rectangle. My direction is going to be the side here. I want it to go up. So I want this to be 1, I want this to be maybe 3. How many, oh wait, I don't want 3. I want this to be 3, this to be 3. And then, is that too far apart? What if I made that 2? No, I don't want that, I want 3. Yeah, 3 here. I think maybe 9 here. Let's see. I can barely see that. Yeah, I think that's good there. I think we're good there. So I'm going to hit OK. Let's see if I can do this again. I want to create another array, rectangular, the same. But I want to go down this time, so the direction is going to be down. Let's flip this. I think all my, oh wait, this is going to be 3. This is going to be 9. Let's make sure we did this correctly. I think that looks pretty good. Hit OK here. So now I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to create a window around these. I don't want to go all the way. I just want to go to, yeah. Okay. So then I want to use the cut all the way through. Boom, that looks pretty good. Hit OK. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So there is our kind of slide cover piece. So I'm going to just go to File, Save. I'm going to call this Part 6, I believe we're on. Part 6. Hit Save. All right, so now we have all our parts created. So we can, I think it's better to assemble them together and then figure out the materials and textures when it's all kind of joined together. You kind of get a better idea of kind of what you want to do. But so, yeah, we'll assemble it in the next video. All right, peace out.